Welcome to chair yoga. This practice here is for anybody, for any age, any walk of life, for anybody who is taking care of shoulders, their back, hips, or even their knees. For anybody who really just wants a gentle and easy practice, we also focus on breathing. So what you will need is a chair, a comfortable chair that you can sit in comfortably with a strong backside and no side arms, a mat, and a block if you have it, or even a pillow. So come on in. And sitting all the way back into our seats, with our backs against the backs of our chairs, we can choose to either keep our palms turned up or even turned down. And so wherever feels comfortable in our wrists and our joints. Our feet, we want them flat onto the floor or a 90-degree bend in our knees. And so I'm able to rest with my feet on the bottom bar of our chair here, with my knees at a 90-degree bend. If you are sitting all the way back and your feet don't touch the floor, rest them on a bottom bar, or even if you have a block, choose any of the three heights in our block and rest your feet on top. To be comfortable. And we soften our shoulders. And resting our eyes, gazing behind our eyelids. Let's look for our own internal light. And this internal light is our innermost true intuition. This is the self that we know and trust best. And so let's let go of all thoughts. They may be running through our minds that doesn't serve us here and now. And just set them aside. Know that they will be there for us later. Soften our shoulders, soften our bellies, soften our legs, and soften our breath. Let's notice our breath as we take a gentle and easy inhale through our nose, filling our lungs full to the top of our chest. With a gentle and easy exhale, feeling our breath traveling down to the pits of our bellies. And we may introduce our Ujjayi breath. And our Ujjayi breath is our ocean breath, like we're fogging a mirror with our lips closed. And so we feel a gentle massage in the backs of our throats. We hear our breath behind our ears. And in our minds, we see our breath traveling within, up and down our bodies, ironing the path along its way. And so here, we calm our minds, we slow our bodies, as we bring awareness to our bodies. And taking a scan of our bodies, let's notice where we are feeling any pains, any discomfort. And send our breath there. And let's also notice where we are feeling most comfortable, most relaxed and loose. And send our breath there. As we continue with our breath, easy, free. And continuing with our Ujjayi breath, knowing our Ujjayi breath here will set our pace in our practice today. We'll massage our internal organs. We'll control our body temperature from the inside out. will help us let go of whatever stresses or anxieties we're holding within. Knowing that our breath is our main tool in our practice today. And knowing that if we can breathe, we can all do yoga. And so take another moment or two here with our breath to set an intention for ourselves. Set a reason or set a why, a purpose for our practice today, however big or small. And let's slowly introduce movement as we wiggle our toes and wiggle our fingers, encircling our ankles, encircling our wrists. And we slide ourselves up to the edges of our seats. And so right up into the edges of our seats, we want to lift one bum cheek up and the other bum cheek the other. And so we're sitting tall and long into our sit bones. Soften our shoulders and our breathing. And let's begin with flow. Rolling our shoulders up as we inhale. And exhale to roll them back and down and away. Inhale to lift our shoulders. Exhale to roll them back and down to the center of our spine. And we begin to feel our hands slide along our thighs. Sliding our hands forward towards our knees as we inhale up. And our hands slide back towards our hips as we roll our shoulders back and down and away. And so we notice our bodies, we feel our bodies as we flow with breath matching movement and movement matching breath. And if we feel ready, our hands may leave our thighs. Bigger shoulder rolls. We introduce more movement for our upper backs. We may keep our hands under shoulders. And if our bodies say okay, arms may come up and over shoulder level. And so choose to keep arms under or over shoulder height. More movement through our spine. Let's alternate one and the other. Eye gaze following thumb as we look and gaze over around behind us. Inhale to lift and exhale to circle around. And here we begin to feel a gentle spinal twist, a spinal rotation as we keep our hips square to the front. We lead with our chest. And our last one, both arms together. Inhale and exhale. Allow our arms to fall around behind as we lift up through our heart center. A little lift through our throats and our eye gaze soft. Inhale, exhale, give the world a great big hug around. And so shoulder blades are wide apart, reaching away. We flow. Inhale to open. Exhale to give the world a hug. Inhale. And exhale. One breath, one move. We roll our spines here in cats and cows. And our last one, reaching around for the backs of our chairs. And now we can either reach around for the high end of our chair or even the low end of our chair. Wherever is most comfortable in our spine, most comfortable in our shoulders. As we soften our shoulders away and lift up through our sternum, up through our hearts, lengthening up through the tops of our throats. Big and wide across the front of our chest. Inhale. Exhale, give the world a great big hug around, shoulder blades wide. And let it all go, soften away. Let's move through legs, out and in. More awareness through here as we introduce awareness through our hips. And let's walk our feet wide, a little wider than our own hip width. And we want all edges of our feet down into the ground, so press every single toe deep into the earth. Root our heels deep into the earth as well. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale, hinge and forward fold, and only halfway with our hands onto our thighs. Lift through our hearts, pressing our feet into the earth, engaging our core. Inhale. Exhale, hinge and forward fold halfway. Inhale to lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. One breath and one move. We introduce airplane. Inhale, lift. And one arm pressing our palm away, lean and hinge. Hands onto our thighs, pressing our feet into the earth as we sit long and tall. Inhale. Exhale, we switch. Modified airplane pose. Inhale to lift. Exhale. And our next one, both arms together. Option to continue with alternating arms. One more time, press our feet down. Exhale for another moment to hold. A count of 3, 2, 1. Hands onto our thighs, coming all the way up. Snake roll through our spine and let it all go. With our feet onto the earth, long and tall, and one arm down along our side. Our thumbs slide up all the way up to our underarm, leading with our elbow. Inhale, exhale to lower, and we switch. We can rest our hand onto our thigh or along the edge of our seat. And so we lift up and out of our sides and begin to feel length through our sides. And if our shoulders say okay, continue to lead through our elbows and high towards the sky. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Greater length through our sides as we prepare for more to come. And let's flow. Windmill flow. And our last one. Resting our hands onto our thighs, softening our shoulders. And lowering one ear towards that shoulder. And chin down towards the front of that shoulder. Knowing our chin doesn't have to touch our shoulders. And just a gentle lift, lifting through the front side of our necks here. As we bring our head back in towards the center, we repeat on the other side, ear towards the shoulder, knowing our ear doesn't touch our shoulders. And chin towards the front of the shoulder here. And a gentle, easy lift, just a slight lift, without hyperextending our head too far back. Just enough to feel a gentle stretch in the front side of our neck here. And we come on up. Roll it all the way and let it go. Both arms circle high to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, joining hands to heart center with a firm press into our palms, fingers, and knuckles. Inhale high. Exhaling down. Feet firm into the earth. One more breath high. Airplane pose, hinge and fold. Press your feet into the earth, engaging through glutes and core. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center, circle high to the sky. Airplane pose, hinge and fold. We repeat that again, circle high to the sky. Hands to heart center for 1. Circle high. Airplane fold. With hands onto our thighs and walking all the way down, using our blocks or anything that resembles a block. And choose any of the 3 heights. Our feet, however wide it is that we need to feel comfortable in our hips and our lower backs. And allowing our shoulders to fall soft, allowing our heads to fall soft. If it feels right, we may walk our hands towards the earth. And so know that if this is even too much, even with our blocks, we're welcome to keep our hands on our thighs. And so this is another option, whether our hands are on our thighs or forearms are onto our thighs. Allowing our shoulders to fall soft, our heads to fall soft. Shoulders kept away from our ears if we are propped up onto our thighs. And when we are ready, slowly lifting our eye gaze first, walking our hands up to our thighs, pressing our feet into the earth. And so we engage our core and roll all the way up. Snake roll it away. And let's all turn towards our right side. And so towards our right side, we want one bum cheek on the chair and the other bum cheek is off of our chairs. And find that place where we are seated, comfortable, so our forward foot is firmly onto our earth. And take a hold of the back of our chairs so we don't fall off our chairs. And the side that is free, we allow it to hang down along its side. We are here in a high crescent lunge, bracing core, lifted through hearts, holding on to the backs of our chairs, and rise high towards the sky, lifting up and out of our sides, up and out of our lower backs. Inhale to lift, and exhale to reach towards the backs of our chairs. And so we take this and we flow. Inhale, exhale to reach. One breath and one move. Feeling a gentle stretch along through our side. A gentle stretch along the front side of our hip here. And maybe even along our lower backs. And our last one, a moment to hold. If it is too much to reach high towards the sky, we can shorten our lever by reaching for our upper backs and continue to lead through our elbows. Exhale to lower on down as we rise on up, bringing both feet in together and swing around to the other side of our chair. And so again, one bum cheek is on, the other is off. Holding on to the backs of the chair, we allow this knee to fall directly beneath our hip. And bracing in our core, we continue to flow again. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. One breath, one move. Choosing our eye gaze anywhere. And our last one, a moment to hold. Choosing our levers long or short. Offering our hearts up just a little towards the sun. And exhale to lower all the way down as we bring our feet in together, swing around towards the front. Release through our legs, release through our hips, snake roll it all the way, all our joints. High to the sky. Exhale, hinge and fold. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Hinge and fold, either hands to thighs or our blocks. Reverse high to the sky. And how about one more? Long and tall. Long into our seats. Bracing in our core. Let's extend one leg. But first we lift our foot up. And so just a few inches off of the floor as we brace in our core, we already feel here As we sit long and tall, unsupported with our backs of our chairs, our core is working, it's engaged and fired up. And release on down, we switch. Inhale to lift. A couple of breaths here. We may place our hands here on our bellies. We may place our hands here to the front corners of our chairs. Placing our hands on our bellies also gives us a tactile reference. We are able to feel our core engaging and bracing in. And lower on down. Our next one, we switch, hold. Extend our leg, flex our foot like we're pushing the wall away from us. Fire up these muscles, pull everything around the knees. All those muscles around the knees, pull them in towards the top of the hip. Bend the knee, bring it on down and release. And we try that again one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, push our heel away, squeeze everything around the knee. We breathe. Bring it on down and release. Let it all go. Release it out. And from here we come on up standing. Before we stand, let's rock into our feet, forwards and back. And so spread our toes, every single toe wide, and press them deep into the floor. And now root our heels into the earth, into our mats. And firing up our core, just pretending as if we're getting ready to stand. And our next one, we pretend stand and come on up halfway. Seats off of our chair and slowly come on down. And so we'll repeat a few of these here. And as we repeat, I'll give options with our hands. We can keep our hands here, resting on our thighs. If we need a little bit more support or security, we can place our hands in the front corners of our chairs, knowing that the chair is there and the chair will not go anywhere. We may place our hands here at heart center in front. We may open our hearts, keep our hands wide to the side. If it feels good, extend our arms up to shoulder height, reaching out in front of us. And if it feels super good, arms up to ear level. And so choose any of the three blends. Our focus is core, and our focus is on the way down. We want to control ourselves seating down. And so we don't just want to fall, we don't just want to plop down, we are in control. And a few more. Hold. Exhale, control. One more time. And our next one, we stand all the way up, lift high to the sky, inhale. Let it all go. Shake it out. Shake out through both legs. Release your hips, our arms, and let it all go. We stand tall and long, our feet right beneath us. Our knees are slightly soft, nothing ever locks. As we brace in our core, we bring our core in and up. And so draw it all up. Lift it through our heart centers, our shoulders are relaxed. As we lengthen long through the crowns of our heads and fingertips catching up with our toes. Softening our eye gaze or resting our eye gaze completely and totally. Hearing the sounds of our breath. And so we repeat. All the exercises we have done seated, we repeat standing. We roll our shoulders up, inhale, exhale to roll away. We may keep our arms under shoulder height, over shoulder height. And so wherever feels right and wherever feels good for us. Our feet, however wide or close we feel we need. Alternate arms, inhale. Exhale, lower on down. Eye gaze following our thumbs behind. As we keep our hips square to the front, we feel the rotation from the upper half. And our last one, Open up the heart. Inhale, exhale, give the world a great big hug around. And so we flow the two together. Just a side view for you. Inhale to open, exhale to reach around. Rolling our spines as if we were on all fours in our cats and cows. And let it all go. Lead with one thumb, one elbow, thumbs along our sides and down. And if it feels right, continue high to the sky. And so here we lift up and out of our sides, up and out, all the way up to the sky. And if it feels good, windmill arms, flowing freely. Roll it all away. Let's come around to the backs of our chair. So walk around here. And as we walk around here, wherever we have the most space, you can certainly stay where you are. But because I'm limited with space behind me, I'm going to turn my chair sideways, and you'll also have a greater view. We want to make sure that our chair is secure and all four legs of our chair is on our mat, on our carpets at home. Something so that if we pushed on it and leaned on it, which we will, our chair is not going to go anywhere. And so here, all four corners of our chair onto our mats. At arm's length away, we come into downward dog. Our feet are hip distance apart. We bend our knees as we send our hips away behind and lengthen our arms away. Are we able to come low enough with a lot of bend in our knees and bring our ears between our arms? Keeping a soft eye gaze, we breathe in through the nose, out through our nose or mouth. We feel length across our backs, across the band of our lower backs. We feel length along our sides and all the way up to our underarms. A couple more breaths here as we take our time. Eye gaze up between the back legs of our chair. And we come on up, pressing into our chairs and up onto our toes. We are in a high plank. Softening our shoulders, keeping our hips in line with the rest of our spine. Firing up through our legs. Inhale, exhale, downward dog. Heels to the ground, bending our knees a lot and tailbone away. And we take these two and we flow them together. Inhale, forward to our high plank. Exhale, downward dog. And we flow with one breath, one move. Inhale up. Exhale, downward dog. And so it's very important here. We are bending our knees a lot and bringing our heels down. Lifting our hearts up. And our last one, downward dog. A couple of breaths here in our downward dogs. And just a side note here, if holding onto the chair is really hard on our hands, if the edges of our chairs are really rough or really tough, we can take a towel. Take a towel, double it up or triple it up and roll it over. Just let it hang over the side of our chairs here. And so that way it's easier on our hands. And it may even be easier on our grips for our wrists. Eye gaze between the backs of our chairs. Let's take our right foot and walk it between the back legs of our chair here. And we turn our left foot out, just a little open, so all edges of our feet are down into the floor and into our mats or carpets. A lot of bend in our forward leg, still keeping our knees behind our toes. Allow our left hip to open freely, however wants to open. And as we brace in our core, we take that left arm high towards the sky. Anytime our arms are up overhead, we can extend long. But if we need to, we can also bend our elbows. It takes a little extra pressure off of the shoulder if we are taking care of our shoulders. And keeping our pelvis beneath us, our core braced on in, we offer our hearts for another breath or two. And lower on down. The same arm lifts only up to shoulder height. Inhale. Exhale, open as we pivot our foot open wide to warrior two. Inhale back into warrior one, exhale to lower. And we continue, inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale forward to warrior one. Exhale down, inhale lift. Exhale open. Exhale in. Exhale down. And our last one, open in warrior one, two, warrior two. As we keep a lot of bend in that right leg. Open up across the front of our hips, open up across our shoulders. And so here, the chair is there if we do need it. And if we are able, extend both arms away. And so soften those shoulders, lengthen them away. And so with or without the chair, we may also place our hand on our thighs. And so there's lots of choices. Towards the sky we lift. We are here in side angle, hand on chair or thigh. And so we want a long line from our heel all the way up to our underarm. Top arm to the sky. We may shorten our lever. We may also place our hand in our back pocket, just our own back pockets and not our neighbors or whoever we may be with. And so open up the chest, roll our shoulders back, rolling our ribs back, rolling our hips back, and breathe. And so we rise, warrior two. With hand on chair or thigh, walk it on in. Heel toe in, and for downward dog, send it away. At arm's length away, heels down, bend the knees a lot. And flow, inhale forward to plank. Exhale, downward dog. One breath, one move. And so as we flow here, feel free to pause anywhere along the way. As we listen to our bodies, hearing, feeling exactly what our bodies are speaking, listening to the words we are saying to ourselves as we flow. And so honor these words, honor these feelings, honor the sensations that we are feeling here now. And our bodies will honor us back. A moment to hold in downward dog. And so we repeat on the other side. We take our other leg between the back legs of the chair for warrior one. Our back foot is down, all edges of our feet are down into the earth with a lot of bend in our forward leg. Allow the other hip, our open side hip, to open freely as we brace our core, keeping our hips beneath us, shoulders stacked over ribs, over hips. Extend high towards the sky. We are here, warrior one. Softening our shoulders away from our ears. Strong in our feet, strong in our legs and in our core. We release as we prepare for our flow. Inhale to shoulder height. Exhale to open to warrior two. Inhale back on in. And exhale to lower. Inhale lift. Exhale open. And so as we rotate open, we want to be mindful that our forward knee stays tracking over our center toe. And so we use those outer hip and we use those outer glute muscles. And our last one, open in warrior two. The back edge of our foot along the back edge of our mats. Softening our shoulders away with or without our chairs. Our eye gaze anywhere. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Rolling our shoulders back, ribs and hips are back. Top arm anywhere it feels it needs to be. As we slowly rise and heel toe, our feet on in. Downward dog, arms length away, heels rooted, bending our knees. Send our hips away, tailbone up. And so we want to bend our knees to help support our backs, to support our spine, supporting our hamstrings, our core. Rest or flow. Choose which our bodies are asking of us here and now. Knowing that any time in our practice, if we feel we need rest, choose rest, however it is that we need, however it is that we would like. And our last one. Let's take a moment to hold up into our high push-up plank. And so here's a choice, here's an option. We can choose to stay here, remain here in our high push-up plank, holding on to the tall back ends of our chair. Or, if we feel good and strong in our core today, turn your chair around and walk around, facing our chairs here. And try the same thing, holding on to the front edges of our chairs, or even our hands may wrap around the sides of our chairs here, at arm's length away, downward dog. A lot of bend in our knees, hips away, a lot of length in our spine. And so how do we feel here? Do we like this, or do we prefer to stay holding on to the backs of our chairs? Forward to a high push-up plank. We want our shoulders directly over our hands, hips in line with our spine. Inhale, exhale, downward dog. We continue to flow here. And so while we flow here, let's think of our underarm muscles. We want to squeeze those underarm muscles. Use them to help support our shoulder girdle, to help keep more open across the front of our chest, as it helps us to keep lifted through our sternum. So squeeze those underarm muscles, like we're holding on to our paper for the day. And a moment to hold, whether we are low or whether we are holding on to the backs of our chair. Let's lift one leg up, just a couple inches off of the floor, not a high lift. And so we don't want to dunk into our lower backs or sink into our shoulders. We want to be long. We want to be tall. And release. We switch, lift. One more each side. Squeeze the buttocks and bring it on in. Let's walk our feet right underneath us. Elbows towards our chairs. We can rest our foreheads in the backs of our hands and take a moment here. As we bend our knees a lot, allowing our abdominals to rest onto our thighs, our ribs to rest onto our thighs. We can walk our feet however wide we need. Whatever feels good in our lower backs and whatever feels good in our hips. We can sway side to side, shift from leg to leg. As we take our time to lift heads off of our seats, all the way long and tall to the top. And so wherever you are, let's come around to the side of our chair. As we come around to the side of our chair, we're here to practice balance. Our balance challenge today is tree pose. Tree pose may look simple, but there is nothing simple about tree pose. And so let's take our outer leg and turn our knees and our toes to the outside. And so here, we are already balancing in tree. We may keep our free hand here at heart center, maybe on bellies or on our hip. And one hand on our chair, knowing our chair is there for added support in case we need. Our standing leg, all edges of our feet are down, strong and supported in our standing supporting leg. So draw those muscles in and up. Draw these core muscles in and up. And we continue to feel this length and to feel this strength all the way up towards the tops of our chest and even through the tops of our heads. And so our feet, we can choose 2 roots here or join our roots together as one towards the low end of our ankle. We may keep our roots low or high, taking the sole of our foot around the side of our calf. Use these outside hip and glute muscles. Keep them strong and bellies in, lifted hearts. Maybe 1 or 2 fingers onto our chairs. Say, look, Ma, no hands, yeah? So give it a try. When we are ready to grow, we can choose to grow wide. We can choose to grow round, long, tall, shortening levers, 1 or 2 limbs, pressing deep into the earth, pressing our big toe down into the ground. Shine bright like the big stars you all are. And bring it on down. Walk it off, shake it out. As we mosey on over to the other side, because what we do to one side, we do to the other always. But know that this side does not have to look the same. Know that we don't have to look the same as our neighbors either. And so we open up our hips, squeezing our backside, bracing in our core, long, tall, and up. Choose 2 roots or 1, low or high. And so how does our tree feel on this side? Do we feel stronger in our standing supporting leg? Do we feel limited on this side on how wide we can open our knee out to the side? And just sending our breath as we bring awareness to our bodies. 1 or 2 fingers, giving it a try. Finding our place to look and focus. When and if we are ready to grow, we grow. And knowing that we grow when we choose love. Knowing we grow when we surrender. When we find acceptance and peace within. And big stars. Shake it out. Let it all go. Release it all. Let it all go. Join me here once again at the tops of our chairs. With our feet beneath us, circle high to the sky. Let it go. And so we just drop our arms and surrender as we open up our mouths, extending our jaws and tongues, and we let go a deep sigh from deep within. Inhale high. 2 more. How about one last one? We did some pretend standing. And so let's do some pretend sitting. Prepare to squat. Like we're getting ready to sit into our chairs. Our feet however wide as we need, embracing our core. Inhale. Exhale, halfway down only. Inhale to lift. Exhale, halfway down only. And again, where do we want our hands? A heart center on our thighs, the front corners of our seats. Maybe we'd like to open up our hearts or even extend our arms long and away. Squeezing our glutes, sending our hips behind us without being shy. And our last one, all the way down, taking our sweet, sweet time. Slower, a little lower, slower, lower, down, down, all the way into our chairs. Bring our blocks with us, sit all the way back into our seats. Whether our feet sit on blocks or comfortably onto the floor. Shake out our legs, release through all our joints, circle through our hips, our shoulders, arms, wrists, let it all go. Rolling through our ankles, wiggling our toes, through our necks. And so come on here, let's make a fist, tight fist, as tight as we can, a good strong one. Now spread those fingers wide as we can. Big, big hands. And again, squeeze. Open wide. Squeeze. Open wide one more time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Big hands. And shake it out. Release it all. Shake those hands. Really just shake them. Let it go. And we even feel this all the way up our arms. Travel up to our shoulders and down our spine. We even feel this through our legs, release through our legs, our knees, our ankles, our feet. And take a deep breath in, high to the sky, a full breath in. Let it go. Into our chairs. As we soften our shoulders, allow our palms up towards the sky. We may join our thumbs and our index fingers together, joining the best of both worlds together, our internal world and our external world. And just allow the remaining fingers to open freely. And so with our hand mudra today, connecting our thumbs and index fingers together, reminds us that we are connected to the world. And even in these times today, as we are practicing social distancing and being separated away from our family, our friends, our loved ones, and take a moment here with our hand mudra here to feel connected with ourselves, to bring connection to the outside world and join them together as one, reminding ourselves that we are not alone. And even though we are each and every single one of us are dealing with our own battles and our own stresses, each of us differently, we are together in this. Hearing the sounds of our breath. As we soften our shoulders, softening our backs, our bellies, our hips, our legs, our ankles, our feet, our toes, noticing our breath is softer, freer, noticing our hearts warmer, kinder, as we soften our throats, our jaws, our cheeks, softening our ears, our nose, our eyes, softening our foreheads, the crowns of our heads, relaxing all our internal organs and our breath. Allowing these Tibetan sounds to resonate within, to heal from within, to soften and let go of whatever hardships we're holding on to. Trusting our own faith and trusting the universe. Finding that place of contentment, that place of joy from within, knowing that there is no other better place than being content, and that is always here and it is always now. And let's slowly bring awareness back to the room. And slowly bring awareness back to our bodies. Awareness to the sounds around us. As we reintroduce movement by wiggling our toes, wiggling our fingers, encircling our ankles, encircle our wrists. And taking a full breath in high to the sky, inhale. And honoring the light and the love within each of you. Reminding ourselves to choose love and to spread joy everywhere we are. Namaste. And so namaste meaning thank you. With much gratitude, thank you for joining me today, and you're certainly most welcome to continue to meditate, to just sit in a quiet place in your own home. Namaste. And so yes, thank you for joining me today, trying out the practice. I would love feedback. Let me know how you feel, how you enjoyed it. So I do hope that this practice has brought you peace, a little less stress with whatever it is that we are dealing with. Most commonly today in these days, we are dealing with all the same. But let me know how you feel, and I hope you have a wonderful day.